Welcome to Death Legion. So I want to kind of explain our aims here because I actually will be initiating this project. Just want to make sure that we're actually live and visible. Yeah. So just gonna check really quick. This is my first stream on this channel. I always do this test. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's working. So what the fuck is Death Legion? Some of you are probably asking. I oftentimes get skewed, painted over, overgeneralized by ignorant dipshits who don't know fucking shit about life in this community of Halo. I don't know why a game like Halo has fallen so fucking far. Um, you gotta bear with me, man. I just did metal vocals right after Christmas. Wasn't so happy about the holidays. I'm not the gleeful guy. This is not your gleeful kind of clan. Cult community, whatever you want to call it. We're more of a movement. That's how I look at it. And it's Death Legion. So there's a lot of fucking things I could address here, and I want to be as straightforward as possible, you know, because this is a group, it is a community, but I also am not fucking around like most people. This isn't some incel gamer, you, this isn't some pitiful attempts to get attention. This isn't me trying to be some wannabe tough guy, because a lot of people in fucking Halo who talk shit online, even some people in the gym think that, but they're obviously terrified because I'm a thin guy, shoulder raising 150s, now 160s. I'll take another video when I can do 170s, assuming I haven't dislocated my shoulder. No, I've been good so far. Training pretty fucking hard. That's what Halo is supposed to be about, right? The Spartan mentality. Who would fucking imagine that you would get called a wannabe tough guy for taking the mentality they have in fucking Halo into real life? Halo's not real life. Halo's not, you know what? All that, it's just a game bullshit. No, we don't do that pussyfooting shit here. We don't pretend. We don't play around. No, this is fucking Halo. Fuck you if you're not a part of it. It's that simple. I really had to shape some people up, even some of my enemies start imitating me, start acting edgy because I was doing it for 5 years. And these are the same people who shamed me for being a Satanist. I want to be very clear. The way people act now in 2025 isn't how people acted 5 years ago. A lot of people literally just gave me shit for being edgy, literally started shit for me just for shit with me, sorry, for me, same thing, for being edgy. What the fuck? This is Halo. Yeah, Halo is an edgy game. You have a problem with that? Fuck off. Like, what part of sci-fi Roman Spartans of pale civilizations, fighting wars, conquering, this is Halo. Why aren't we talking about Halo? Why is everyone fucking talking about drama? Seriously. If it's not relevant to the game, why are you talking about it? I'm not going to say them in this video because this is not an aim to go at them specifically. This is just a larger community statement. But when you get to a point where an entitled, liberal, overweight, non-binary, anti-white, the list of insults, I'm sorry, I'm trying to say the truth and I don't want to come off as insulting, but there's so many insults. The list, there are some people, in short, who don't belong in Halo, who have nothing to fucking do with what Halo stands for. Am I being clear? You have people who are overweight as fuck. Halo, anyone can play Halo. That's not the point. But we're gonna add it together here. We're gonna piece it together because a lot of you are too fucking retarded to do that. So we have people who are obese as fuck, who are not at all the culture or ethnicity or share any values with Roman civilization whatsoever, who have nothing to do with Roman civilization, right? Because that's what Halo Spartans are based off of, for fuck's sake, right? Who don't act very sci-fi, futuristic. That's Halo. Who are not patriotic about our country or our natives or our ancestry. Again, that's what Halo would be. That's what Halo kind of is at nature, right? And so we have a lot of people who do not share any values of Halo, but want to declare themselves the fucking rulers of Halo? Huh? Has our world gone fucking upside down? Am I the only one seeing this? Are people just too, I'm not going to use the word because platforms, censoring the fuck out of us, but we're allowing people who are dysfunctional, ill, to run us in this community, or at least to think they have that. They don't really run shit, but they think that. 343 doesn't even run shit, but they think that. Bungie, Bungie's a different story. Anyways, let's keep it relevant. So, again, not edited, not putting dramatic, stupid background, shitty 99 cents music in the back of my videos to make myself sound more dramatic. This is just a stream. The uncut words. We can do all the editing, all the propaganda. I am the fucking best editor I have seen on YouTube. I'm going to be dead honest with you guys. The stuff I post is just too explicit to go on YouTube most of the time. I may still do edits once in a while on YouTube, but my primary focus in editing will be more on a website that I still haven't fucking made. But it will go up probably on BitChute or something. I have been working on this project for like 3 fucking years, video editing. This video edit's now like 10 fucking minutes of just epilepsy, fast, flashing scene shifts like 8 times a second. The scene changes in video editing. Video editors, if you know what that is, if you're not dumb, you know what that is. If you're an actual video editor, right? Not just a poser with a fucking camera posting stuff on the internet to feel relevant and self-important because your life fucking sucks. You have nothing better going on in real life, right? Of course, of course. No, most of you aren't experts. There's no fucking professionalism in this community, and it makes me sick. It makes me fucking sick. So, let's continue. So, I don't need to flex about my editing. If you want to know me, DM me, get to know me. Maybe I'll link the Discord or a Discord relevant to this channel in this. Yeah, I probably will. Get to know me. I'll send stuff, but I have to trust you. You have to show me you have a spine. You have to show me you have conviction. I don't waste my time with fake fucks. This channel isn't for fake fucks. This is going to be probably the most radical fucking clan, obviously within guidelines, that has ever been on Halo, or one of them. We're like, this is a fucking death cult, basically. That's not literally like, don't take it too seriously, but take it seriously enough to understand the life values and lessons to be learned from that and how that would translate into this game. I don't expect you to be a bodybuilder who can bench press 400 pounds if you want to join my clan. Because I know like only 2 or more people in Halo, me and one other guy, not going to say his name out of respect for him, can do that or close to it. But, have a spine is what I'm saying. Like, shape the fuck up. Like, I've seen people like Anatar go through so much growth and self-improvement in such a short time, and all people like him really needed at one time was just a little bit of guidance. That's all you have to do. Just be there for someone, really guide them, teach them, masculine values. This is what Halo's about, guys. Like, people who play Halo now act like they have nothing to do with Halo. Are we even playing the same game anymore? What the fuck? Why are we taking the word Halo? This is false advertisement, scandalous marketing. Make stuff relevant to the fucking game, or don't talk about the fucking game and use the name Halo clans in your fucking channel for views, because all you care about, most of you, is fucking perception. This isn't Instagram. This is definitely not TikTok. This isn't Facebook even. This is fucking Halo and YouTube. Clan channels should have well put together, well produced. I don't give a shit. Be good or fuck off is my message for most of you in this community. Some of you take the competitive side more seriously. That's fine. Your presentation still sucks. I've seen someone like Anatar, improve drastically in just a few months, and just a little bit of inspiration, and now he's doing stuff that, I'm not going to say he's anywhere near top tier or any of that, but he has a level of professionalism in his, yes, he's done crazy things as well. He's had his he's had his chaotic moments, right? But what I want most of you to understand and analyze and take away, because this isn't a right or wrong, we're just analyzing. We can be analysts too and actually, you know, observe the psychology, the military strategy 101. Military is all psychological warfare too. It's not just what's on the battlefield, it's the war on social media, it's the war in your own home, right? The social dynamics, the internal conflict, right? This is stuff we all grew up with at one point or another. When you turn on your phone and you listen to a post, you're being assaulted by social media. I'm not trying to sound sensitive. I'm talking about strategists planning psychological warfare, right? A lot of people imitate me because even though they hate me, they like my wording. It's not just about clever wording, though. We are being very precise, sharp with our words, what we say, what we do, because our words have consequences. So, a lot of people who fucked with me love to paint a narrative. I have evidence to the contrary. They don't like it. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to go at you guys because I don't want the attention. I don't even want your attention at me, your publicity. I really don't. I don't like associating with you, but you have time and time again showed me you're unstable. You want to bully and pick on people you perceive as smaller than you, and you fucked with me, so that was the wrong move. Yeah, that was a fucked up move on your end. So I'm gonna show the evidence. You didn't fuck off. I got more evidence. You didn't fuck off, and I got more evidence, and you didn't fuck off. And there are some people you can make a number on. You can get, you can use for views, but I am not one of those people because if you continue going at me for too long, you're going to start to make yourself look dumber in the process. That's why you avoid me. And rightfully so. You should continue to do so. That's to anybody who's fucked with me, who's tried to use my name for views. Too many people care about the views, but not the values of the community. So that will be my closing message. We'll bring a level of professionalism, culty themes of death to the community. I'll be right back though. Give me a second. Actually, there's a little more I have to cover. So let's talk about it. Now that I've cleared up all the air and all the confusion, what the fuck is Death Legion? Death Legion takes the values of the Sith. It takes pretty much the darker values from every single corner of ideology, and we attempt to convey that in the most military, sci-fi, Roman, Spartan way we can, and to convey those values to a larger community. This will be a much more professional channel. Now, I'm not saying we won't still have maybe people who hang out here and there, um, other recreational events outside of propaganda and sending a larger message and maybe even a larger life message, right? That will be on AXS clips. I have called myself Axis AXS. It is not AXI. The reason being because those were all steps of development, of elevation, you could say, to the name I now have, which is primarily Axis. You will know, you will call me by Axis or AXS. There is a lot more symbolically true depth and meaning to why I do. That is not coincidence. That is not random. So you will address me as Axis or AXS now. That is the more professionally modern true name. I'm sure I will be ridiculed to the death of it. So, oh well. But that will be my name either way. Axis Lifestyle Fitness. That's who I am. Video editor on other websites. That's who I am. Hardcore, extreme video editing beyond stuff that will literally. Anyways, it's psychological. I know a thing or two as well about psychological warfare. Just because that's the age we're in, right? So my video editing is very good. It can reprogram the brain visually, everything. Anyways, enough. Not to brag, but yeah, uh, yeah, yeah. I'm too much for most people. Sorry, but Halo is kind of turning it up to the extreme. Get with it or get the fuck out. So that's who I am. You know, I'm an athlete, a little bit of a bodybuilder. I'm more on the thin side, but I can lift pretty fucking heavy. I am a metal vocalist. I have a band. Follow me on the Rape Syndicate. Yep, edgy name. You don't like it? Oh well. At the Rape Syndicate YouTube search bar. Yep. Yep. It's metal. It's creativity. It's art. Right. Understand that. Don't take things too personally. Right. At the end of the day, you got to understand there's a difference between having edgy humor and then being effed up. Right. Oh, that doesn't that sound familiar? Who said that? Anyways, let's continue. Just trying to get all this out. I want to keep the video condensed. I want to keep it to the essentials. We got to keep this channel, relevant, straightforward. The all the fuckery, views, thoughts on politics, all that we delve into outside of what's relevant to the clan, we can do that on the AXS channel. That's fine. But on this channel, we'll only bring up the things of the political issues that are relevant to the Halo community. We can talk about larger world problems on that channel, But I do also want to address the industry, and not for the typical reasons. Oftentimes, the darkest truths are outside the box that they want to put you in. The box of thinking, the just narrow view, the grid of entrapment. Off the grid, which is pretty much anywhere else but the limited narrow view they try to pin you down to. So 343, what's my beef with the industry? Well, Halo had this hot, sexy, holographic, goddess depicted evil Babylonian woman who's pale and gothic looking. And then they took her and they neutered her. Or, sorry, they spayed her, right? Because she's. Are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to identify gender? Have I misgendered Cortana? That's enough to piss off any male who grew up playing Halo, I think. But apparently not, because men aren't men anymore. They're docile, they're neutered, and they're all pussies. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, what else? Oh, they took a game about Spartans that used to have gender in it as a playable option, and then they took that and reduced it to no genders. There's actually literally no gender in Halo Infinite. There's armor, yeah, but there's no gender. I guess Greek Romanesque sexuality is a something Halo should be offended by. I guess a game like fucking Halo, huh? Halo Infinite doesn't look that sci-fi. It looks like a reskin of Fort. Anyways, this isn't gonna be a list of why I hate Halo Infinite. That could be a whole other video of itself if I actually remember that. The point is, our literature, our art, our culture is insulted in Halo Infinite. This clan will not be doing things with Halo Infinite. It will be to a minimal, because that is a game that disgraces our gender, that is ashamed of sexuality, of beauty. It's not even very well made. It's trash. Its graphics are trash. It looks like some childish toddler shit made for fucking toddlers. Like, seriously, Halo Infinite is a game where you have to think like a toddler to kind of play it. I don't want to accuse everyone who plays Halo Infinite, but if you play Halo Infinite, you're kind of a little mentally stunted in my eyes. And I know that's controversial, but I don't give a shit about playing pre-K rated G shit that you guys all seem to play. And you fucking love it, don't you? Yeah. It's not hard to put two and two together and see how dumber, more toddler minded people like to play dumber, more toddler minded games because they were made for toddlers, not adults, but they market it for adults, which is kind of offensive and insulting. But I guess having a spine or having a pair of balls in 2025 going on 6 is just not a common thing of nowadays, is it? So, Death Legion is obviously a clan that takes themes of a death cult and we apply it to Halo. Yeah, obviously we're not going to do anything illegal, but we are definitely going to have that fear factor, that shock that has been neutered from the media in this group. Now, certain things can't be shown on YouTube, so what is posted probably on my personal side with my other edits of this channel may go up there, but we will still get we'll still get the message across. Trust me. So Death Legion is taking many different radicals across many groups, and we're integrating them. And this group can be as large or small as necessary. I can guarantee you there is a handful of people already enlisted in this group who have a great deal of anonymity. A lot of people you don't even know of or want to know who are already in this group. We are kind of a group that takes how do we say this without gaslight, without setting the slitting the fuse too soon, right? We don't want to do that too soon. We are a group that takes themes and inspiration from very dark. Just think of the 9 Lord of the Rings. Okay, we're no, jokes aside though, in all seriousness, we are taking themes of a inner circle, inner shadow, kind of networking. We're kind of like the new Oni, but the really satanic version. Too much too soon. Yeah, it's called Death Legion. Get over it. No, not everybody in here has to be. We don't really judge your personal beliefs, but we want you to embrace the destructive aspects of those beliefs. And we're trying to use those aspects for a more productive goal, more productive cause, aim, right? Um, so as a kid, I'll just say, what is my experience in the Halo community? Well, I've trolled a lot. I've provoked YouTubers as big as IX Auxiliary, and actually later on down the road gained respect from him. I have called out IX when he was a 12K channel, when I had only 400, and I stood my ground against him and kept doubling down. And then I got a lot of attention and branched out and became a YouTuber so talented in many other areas, like as a kid doing parkour, free running, learning double flips, in my late teen years and starting to do them on spring floor, close to, yeah, I would say. Um, just running marathons, doing things like this as a kid, I enjoyed Halo. I actually liked Halo 5's story, but I felt like it was, call me a fraud or sellout. That's just my opinion, but I liked the drama. I didn't like how later on it became all that got thrown away. I kind of wish they made it into a soap opera. I like, the aesthetic of Halo 4 and Halo 5 and would like to see kind of an improved version of that with my themes here, aesthetically, right? I'm going to get into the aesthetics. I grew up on Assassin's Creed. I took that shit to heart. I grew up on Destiny. Those were my first video games that I played as a kid, besides Minecraft and shit like that. So anyways, this isn't like me trying to go on about video games in a toddler-esque way, but keep in mind, this is stuff that I was, more into as a kid. I was into the sci-fi. I was into the themes, the darker themes, the darker games with darker themes. Not to where they were so overtly bloody and gory, although these games did, like Assassin's Creed obviously have that. So blood all over the marble walls and you slice people running through the fucking buildings and shit. But my point here is, right, as a kid, I didn't really like little kiddish stuff. Destiny is a little bit in the middle, but I liked, sci-fi stuff. I like the idea of an RPG sci-fi game that is also a first-person shooter game. I like the idea of the psychological warfare behind it all. And I had a really deep admiration as a young kid for darker themes. I thought, when Aldrin Sov in Destiny 2 was being seduced, again, this is more for the gaming channel, but I'll just say it here, the AXS Clips channel. I always thought Aldrin Sov being seduced by Mara Sov was kind of hot. It was kind of mysterious. It was alluring. It was interesting, you know. So my point here is, as a kid, I had an appreciation for the themes of sexuality and depth and maturity. And I liked Assassin's Creed. I liked the darkness seducing. I really appreciated that. Keep in mind, as a kid, I thought I was a Christian. Now I am more along the lines of a Wiccan, a Freemason, a Templar, a Satanist, a lot of other far darker associations. Yeah, but those are a few to get the idea across. Dark Realm Buddhists. I could go on many different routes with this because I'm entrenched in many different, you could say, beliefs, practices that all serve a larger aim. I know what side I'm on, but I can express that to you in probably 20 to 30 to 40 different ways. I am Axis. I am the mysterious one, the mythic, you know, the edge lord, right? If you want to call me that in gamer terms. I am, that guy. And I'm not going to say I know everything, but I have spent years, decades deepening my experiences, my understanding with the darkness, with things you don't want to know. Let's put it that way. I am not a harmful person. I don't go out of my way to provoke and harm other people, but I am definitely associated with a lot of things you don't even want to know. And that's not me trying to radicalize myself, although the radicalism and shock value is a component of like what made people like Manson famous. Same thing works in Halo, it works in every community. But I am definitely affirming and saying there are levels beyond what you want to see. And Death Legion won't force you to ascend, but it's going to show you the doorway. It's going to push you to your limits. Death Legion is going to cause a lot of controversy. It's going to reshape the scape and redefine what is the bar. Where is the bar? I set the bar. But is that bar deep underground or above the dark depths of the black space? This is Death Legion. This is an extreme group. We are very extreme about our mission, our motives, our art, our aims. And I want people here to understand and have a level of sincerity. I'm not going to judge you whether you're good or bad, but I'm more interested in those of sincere interest. We're very tribal. We are a nationalist ideal, idea. We are. We really are. In real time, we are. Death Legion is taking from many ideas that already exist around the world and integrating that into a Halo community. See, Death Legion is a universal thing. You kill the clan, but that's not what this is. This is an idea. I am simply deciding to make a clan, naming myself off of something that already exists to be an extension of that. See, we are Legion. It doesn't matter whether you're a Christian nationalist, a white descendant, or a Satanist or a devil worshiper, because we are universal. We are everything. We are everywhere. There are some groups, real time, real life groups that are radical in their own ways for different reasons. Anonymous, O9A, or even just someone who worships the devil. or even God in some ways. And the thing with these beliefs is to be recognized as a part of these things, you have to do something sincere. Your initiation isn't going up to someone and begging for approval. You initiate yourself simply by ascending in the darkness. The darkness is a very real thing. I am not necessarily saying healing myself, but I do believe in the Sith. I take the Sith teachings from Star Wars to heart because it is based off of real life mythology. Okay? So bear with me. I'm almost done, but I want to get a few things out of the way. So Death Legion is just that. If you feel like you're in Death Legion and you prove yourself and you make something that lives up to the title of Death Legion, only then are you a member of Death Legion. When you talk to me, try to get my approval, try to get on my good side, that's not going to get you into Death Legion, buddy boy. When you whore yourself out and write Axis into your body, that's not necessarily going to get you into Death Legion, goody girl. What's going to get you into Death Legion is the interest you have in Death Legion. If you want to be a part of Death Legion and you show me that you're devoted to our cause of death, motionless and white, no pun intended, only then are you in Death Legion. See, when I go and listen to Marilyn Manson, I am a depiction. I am an embodiment. I'm the vampire in the fucking gym. And everyone sees that. Nobody can beat me when I'm Super 17, bitches. We're going to have a little fun here because I did get, but we still got to get a little serious, right? Bear with me. Nobody can beat me when I'm Super 17. I am the fucking Axis. I am the leader of Death Legion. I am its representative for now. But the point is, if I die, it's the spirit of heavy metal, of death metal, that will fucking carry us through this community. Bitches. That's Death Legion. Fuck you, bitch. That's Death Legion. That's my mission statement. Now, last but not least, we draw from all corners of the darkness that are relevant to Halo. This is Death Legion in Halo. But Death Legion outside of Halo is everything and everywhere. Day after day, the world is run by the darkness. We are the darkness, each and every single one of us. So we don't have a moral high ground. We don't use morality to defend our points. We go by pure logic, precision, because we are Death Legion. Our virtue and morality only reinforces the already better aims and better motivations we have for the community, not the other way around. A lot of people will do logical things to defend an emotional response to something, to defend a moralistic, dogmatic way of thinking. We are not that way like every other clan. We are the opposite. We use dogma and virtue to serve the higher good, to serve the better path for this community. So we take emotion, logic, or emotion, virtue, morality, right? All that dogmatic, moralistic, faith-based thinking. That fuels the betterment of the community. Rather than sacrificing the betterment of the community for your own virtues and, sorry to repeat this, but rather than sacrificing the betterment of the community for your ego, for your pride, for your God complex, we do the opposite. The God complex is used to serve the better interest of the community. Our better interest. Put the greater virtue above your ego. The greater goal. That's Death Legion. But here's the that sounds too good to be true, right? Yeah, there is a catch though. But will most of you live up to that virtue? Do you deserve Do you even have the right to bleed in this clan? Or will you just fall and die before the challenge before you? Will you be conquered? Will you crumble beneath the weights? This is what Death Legion explores. You will be pushed to your psychological limits. You'll be tested time and time again. Death Legion is an ever evolving idea, an esoteric identity within the Spartan fold of the Halo community, of the Halo universe, of the existence, of the abysmal darkness. Right? We are the infernal order. We are. We are. We are Andromeda systems. We see we're so many different things. We're already networking and engraved so deeply into many parts of real life. Right? We do have a community. We do have an order. But we also have a real life virtue that reinforces and instills power into the world, the chaos that is required for existence to function, the necessary side of the darkness, the balance within the darkness itself. We also find that within Death Legion. There is tranquility in the void. There are greater truths that we must go deeper within to reach the ultimate aim. What is Death Legion? It is the end of all things, but it is also the beginning. Heil, Death Legion. Motherfuckers, you want to talk about rights? You want to talk about rights? I'll tell you, the Roman order had a satanic Reich. A satanic Reich. What the fuck does that look like? We aim to investigate and to look into the larger ideas. What the fuck does that look like? But before any of my personal obligations, I would like to place the betterment of our ancestors first, because we cannot bring the end without understanding the beginning, and we cannot create a new beginning without bringing the end, because we know the end and the beginning. The construct is ours to create. We determine the future, past, present, and future. We bend reality. We go deeper. We observe. We are not like you. We are different. That's Death Legion. All right. What part of Halo, Roman sci-fi, conquest doesn't scream Gothic Aryanism? You tell me. Are you just going to be another faggot on the internet looking for attention, making videos for clout, virtue signaling your docile behavior to the internet, your cry for attention, to be like everyone else, to fit in, and you still don't fucking fit in? Nobody still gives a fuck about you in your tiny channel. I had a 20K channel, deleted. I had a 1K channel, deleted. Oh, the Rape Syndicate, 2K subs, go. I don't really care about the followers, but point is, I'm always engraved in here. I have channels beyond channels where I promote my virtues. We're not circumventing, though. I know I've been in the past, but this is actually just simply another channel, feature another channel. If you want to go there, you can, but this channel is completely different. Now, on that channel, I may feature other channels, but I'm not going to go and feature the content loudly on the front page like I did before. Anyways, TMI. The point is, some of you talk about, oh, I've been attacked, you play victim. You haven't been through shit. I've had my channels deleted. I've had the entire society the entire public, socially, sometimes the entire school. Yes, even YouTube entirely against me because it was so anti-white, because it was so against the expression of beauty. Let's just leave it at that. They couldn't handle it. It was too mature for them. If you see where I'm going with this. I've had the entire internet against me at some points. I've had thousands of people, hundreds come at me. And I didn't have a group to cry to, a shoulder to cry on. Oh, because I didn't want to sacrifice my individuality. Because when you stay individual and true to yourself and don't need groups of people to cry to like a whiny bitch, you learn true solitude and true discipline. The darkness disciplines you in isolation. And then when you come together with the group, you have something meaningful to offer. That is Death Legion. You've already had life events affect you, and how you tackle and deal with those events is going to determine what gets you into this group. There's no time, there's really no time, there's no numeric value. If you've played Halo for 20 years or 1 minute, makes no difference to us. It's about the virtue you have. And that virtue is what's going to drive you further. Now, the people who are more experienced in Halo may know more, are likely to. But if you can prove that you know more on the first day, that's also great. Your knowledge, your understanding, right? Your experiences, this is all taken into account in Death Legion. What we want to know is when we break you down to the bare surface of your soul, what the fuck are you made of? That is Death Legion. Death Legion, it's an idea. It's a concept. It's a virtue, even. It is about the collapse and undoing of all the false foundations that stand in the way between us and Halo. There are many foundations, not just within a community, within a clan system, but within the gaming industry itself. And whether society collectively acknowledges our ambition or discards us like they discard everything else, and even themselves, they throw themselves off a cliff. So don't take it personally if they throw you away, because they're already throwing themselves off a cliff. That's their fucking life wasted. So fuck them. They can go fuck themselves. Death Legion, right, is the destruction of all false reality. On Halo, on YouTube, on other parts of the internet, you may not know exactly what you can call stable anymore. But as so long as the name Death Legion is mentioned, that will always be the answer to reclaiming the truths, the occult knowledge, the deep secrets of Death Legion. We must understand that and appropriate that. Because when Halo has fallen, where will you go to find the truth? You'll go to Death Legion, right? Wasn't it hunt the truth? What did the industry do? They slaughtered the truth. They took your binary programming away from you. But tell me, what did they do to make it better? What was the worthy alternative, the replacement to binary programming? Because you didn't become an AI. You became a mutilated Spartan. You shouldn't even be called a Spartan. You are a disgrace to even be called a Spartan. Most of you are a disgrace to even call a clan. You're not worthy of the title of a fucking clan. You have no discipline, no real life skills. You are not worthy to be called a clan. You're not worthy to be called a group, most of you in this community. For fuck's sake, you are not worthy to be called Legion. I am Legion. You forfeited the goddamn fucking name. So I will take that. I follow the real wolves, Operation Werewolf, Paul Wagner, and his virtues. That's what pulled me through the hardest and toughest of times in my training, in my conviction. That's a real wolf. He is a leader of a real legion. They're called the Iron Wolves. Okay? We're not role players on the internet looking for fucking attention. They're what it means. True pact. Right? So that is Death Legion. If you feel called, if you feel convicted, if you feel driven, DM me. Comment below, comment on a post. We'll see what you're made of. And whether or not you get in the group is not going to be necessarily based on what you say to me or how you present yourself or how nice you act. I don't really care if you're trying to be a nice guy. Death Legion doesn't give a fuck about nice guys. Nice guys always finish last. It's true. No, I don't care if you can. I don't care if you act like a simp. I don't care if you act like a 343 developer who succumbs to woke idealism. No, I don't give a fuck about that. Pretty far right and pretty satanic and dark. And I'm very much an advocate of our race's legacy as well. So that should say a lot. It should speak volumes. I've said enough. This will be our mission statement. We're a Death Legion. We don't forgive. You already know the rest. We certainly do not fucking forget.